Hi, I'm Dr. Todd Lizon. Today I'm speaking to the 1.7 million Australians that struggle with diabetes. We don't know the root cause of most type 2 diabetes. We do know, however, that you can really influence your type 2 diabetes by what's called modifiable lifestyle risk factors. And these are things like diet and exercise. Now, a lot of people know they should do diet and exercise, but they don't always get around to it. And there's a concept out there called the minimum effective dose. And the minimum effective dose is all about finding out what is the least amount of effort you can put in for the maximum outcome. And that's not advocating laziness, and it's not saying that there's a replacement for diet and exercise, but what if there were these diabetic life hacks that you could do that would get you the maximum outcome for the least amount of effort? Would you be interested in knowing what those things are? And the answer I know is yes, and that's why I've been researching, delving into the journals and the medical references, and coming up with what are the top 6 benefits that you can get from some of these life hacks. And what I found is that the single best life hack when it comes to managing diabetes for better control of it is a near-infrared sauna. You heard me right, saunas. Now, I've written a lengthy article on this that's all clinically referenced, and you'll see the link to that at the bottom of this page here in the comment section, or in the references section, in the links. And you'll be able to read that and look at the literature yourself. But it's really important to understand what are these near-infrared saunas. So a little bit of background is important. There's 3 types of saunas. There's your traditional throw the water on the hot rocks type of sauna like this. There's far infrared saunas that use heaters in the walls that look like this. And then there's near infrared lamp saunas that look like this. They all work. They all work when it comes to the heat or hyperthermia effects of saunas. The difference is the light, the near infrared. And there's tremendous research. You can look at some of my other videos on what near-infrared is all about. It's also referred to as photobiomodulation. Near-infrared light heals. It has a tremendous effect on all kinds of things, from wound healing to inflammation, that we're going to get into. And the only sauna that does that is the near-infrared lamp saunas. And you can read the article, but in short, it increases energy production. It increases your ATP, which is that energy. It also increases things like nitric oxide, which will help with cardiovascular health. When you read the article, it'll become much more clear, but I just wanted to give you a little bit of background in understanding what that is. There is a diabetic researcher. Her name is Kraus, and in 2015, I believe, she came out with a research paper, a review paper, that actually stated that diabetics should use saunas as part of their management. And she went on to even say what the frequency or the recommended guidelines for that would be as we continue to explore this type of therapy or diabetic life hack for type 2 diabetes. So the research is there. It's been there all along, but now we've managed to collate it. Some of these researchers have looked at it and they've said, yes, it works, we're recommending it, here's how we suggest that you start using it. And more research over the coming number of years will explore this a little bit more. But you just didn't know about it before, and now you do. So we've got these diabetic life hacks that will give you better control of your diabetes, and it is so worthwhile knowing. Now, this video is short and to the point, so I'm simply going to share with you the 6 main areas that near-infrared sauna can help you get that better control. And then for all the details, you can actually read the lengthier article. And I encourage comments, I encourage questions. Email us at info@lifestyleintegration.com.au. Put your comments in the video below. Let us know what you think, let us know your concerns, and I'm more than happy to get back to absolutely each and every one of you that has questions regarding how this will work. So let's get to the first main benefit of how these near-infrared saunas will help you gain better control. And the first way is by helping you with weight loss. Almost not every, but most diabetics struggle with weight gain and then in turn weight loss. The research is clear. It's been done using diabetic patients, and saunas. And it shows there is a reduction in weight, there's a reduction in waist circumference. It works. So weight loss is a huge thing when you need to manage your diabetes. Number 2 are cardiovascular benefits. Unfortunately, with diabetes, most people not only have diabetes, but they struggle with cardiovascular issues, whether it be high blood pressure, cholesterol, stiffening of the arteries, whatever it is. And sauna therapy is tremendously researched when it comes to cardiovascular health and benefits. Now, there are some conditions that you should not use saunas for, but high blood pressure is not one of them. Okay? High blood pressure responds wonderfully to regular near-infrared sauna use, as does stiffening of the arteries, cholesterol, lipid profiles. All these things have been documented to be improved by using heat therapy. And number 3, increased insulin sensitivity. The thing that got me understanding this definitively is when they took type 1 diabetics that were completely insulin dependent and they exposed them to the sauna therapy and the heat therapy, and those type 1 diabetics had low reactions because it increased the insulin sensitivity and they went low as a result. Again, the literature is pretty clear that when you use heat therapy, it increases your circulation, it brings more blood to the tissues, it increases the perfusion, and the sensitivity to insulin absolutely increases. And for a type 2 diabetic, that is a massive, massive benefit. So we've got cardiovascular benefits, we've got the increased insulin sensitivity. What's number 4? Number 4 is inflammation control. We know that inflammation alone can cause insulin resistance. We know that inflammation is one of the main reasons that we're running into all kinds of problems when it comes to regulating our metabolic processes. Inflammation is the enemy, and inflammation responds wonderfully to near-infrared sauna therapy. Interestingly, the heat therapy is, as I said, different to the light therapy. And the near-infrared light therapy is probably where we're seeing a lot of the benefits with the inflammation. So all of the saunas will work for the previous benefits that I mentioned, but the near-infrared lamp sauna will probably work the most when it comes to understanding inflammation control. For more of those details, you can absolutely reference the study and have a look and see how it's working. And number 5 on these diabetic life hacks on how infrared saunas can help you manage your diabetes is through detoxification. This is an area you might not be as familiar with, but there is a lot of literature out there that's linking the effects of industrialization and the toxic world and environment that we find ourselves in, and we're finding that this toxicity is linked into diabetes. See, a lot of these toxins go into the fat, and if these toxins are going into the fat, we'll call it toxic fat, and that fat's essentially performing a function in the body. It's trying to store it away, and that fat's doing a job. Now, a lot of diabetics are overweight trying to lose fat, but they will have difficulty losing this fat because it's being stored, it's doing a job. Why would the body get rid of it when it's being stored and trying to be put away? So a lot of the time, unless we're using the near-infrared saunas, because the near-infrared penetrates deeply into the body, and the heat also helps to bring more blood flow into the body, this liberates these toxins that are being stored in the fat, allowing people to detoxify, in turn lose the fat, and in turn manage their diabetes so much better. Detoxification is a key for most people in this world, and it's quite important when it comes to managing diabetes. And the last factor is increased wound healing. Wound healing is important for a lot of people when it comes to diabetes. These ulcers can be very resistant to treatment. And wound healing is where near-infrared was probably initially researched by NASA. They wanted to know, when they were off in space, how they could help people increase the wound healing time. And it turns out near-infrared does that. We have light receptors in our bodies in these energy pathways called the electron transport chain. And these receptors take on that near infrared, increase ATP, and it increases wound healing. So there you have it. Those are, in a condensed way, the top 6 things that you can do with a near-infrared sauna to help you better manage your diabetes and get better control over it. These are what I'm referring to as our diabetic life hacks using the minimum effective dose. So doing one therapy, having a near-infrared sauna in your home, using it essentially daily as long as your medical practitioner approves that, creates all of these benefits from doing one simple thing. And there's so much more to it that we haven't got time to get into. You can do more research, look at more of our videos. I mean, using the sauna, it mimics exercise. It gets your heart rate up, it gets the blood flowing, it gets you sweating. So a lot of people watching will be essentially disabled. They're not able to exercise because of bad backs, bad knees, overweight, whatever it is. This is a way of getting exercise without actually going out and doing it. So this is a huge life hack. Again, I encourage comments, questions, anything at all. The portable near-infrared sauna that you see here is probably the best one to use in your home because it's versatile. You can use it in a shower cubicle, either standing or hanging. You can use it in a bathtub in a similar way. Probably hanging is usually the best way to do it, but you need it in your home so you can do it regularly. A lot of the research actually into sauna therapy compared to exercise therapy found that sauna therapy had better compliance because people are more inclined to do it. It's a bit more enjoyable and it's a bit easier to do. So there you have it. Those are our 6 life hacks to help you with your diabetes. Until next time, keep well.